In the glitzy world of Hollywood, where fame reigns, one star's kindness stands out. It's Demi Moore, showing unwavering support to her ex-husband, Bruce Willis, as he faces aphasia. The love she holds is truly incredible, which makes it astonishing to contemplate the challenges she has confronted. From a devastating betrayal by her mother, to surviving molestation at 15, battling alcoholism, and enduring a miscarriage, her life story is extremely tragic. So what helped her to survive?
At the height of her career, Demi Moore had the world at her feet. She'd walk down the red carpet with her dark hair flowing behind her, and all eyes were on her. But no one knew that behind her eyes lay a woman who had seen more pain and endured more suffering than anyone could have imagined. Her mother saw young Demi as nothing but an item to be sold, and their relationship would be something that haunted Demi for the rest of her life. Is it possible that the broken relationship with her own mother led the actress to have an estranged relationship with her own daughters? Why is it that Demi has struggled to love and trust the men in her life?
And the things I've done, whether I've been proud or have felt guilt and shame, are not who I am.
Demi's relationship with her mother was a very complicated one. Her mom, Virginia King, was an alcoholic and would often drag young Demi along with her to bars in order to get attention from other men. Demi was barely in her teens during this time and didn't know any better. Moore loved her mother and believed that she was doing the best job she could to parent her daughter. Unfortunately, one night at a bar took a dark turn that Demi would never be able to forget. Moore described that on the night, she came home to find an older man, someone that both she and her mother knew, inside their apartment. The man justified his actions by claiming Demi's mother had sold her to him and proceeded to assault her. Young Demi was left shaken and traumatized after that night and couldn't believe her mother would have allowed for something like that to have happened.
In my deep heart, no, I don't think it was a straightforward transaction, but she still did give him the access.
She packed her bags and left the apartment that night. With nowhere left to go, she knew she now had to fend for herself at just 15 years old. This was not the first time that Demi's mother had put her in a compromising position. Along with Virginia's alcohol addiction came bouts of dark depression that would be completely overwhelming. She often threatened to take her own life, so Demi and her stepfather were on constant high alert over Virginia. The first attempt happened when young Demi was just 12 years old, with the unimaginable burden of watching her mother like a hawk. The next thing I remember is using my fingers, the small fingers of a child, to dig the pills my mother had tried to swallow out of her mouth, while my father held it open and told me what to do. Something very deep inside me shifted then, and it never shifted back. My childhood was over.
And it wasn't the last time.
No, there was many, many times.
Perhaps it was all the trauma that Demi could never fully process that led her to have such a troubling romantic life. Her first marriage to Freddie Moore started with adultery right before Demi walked down the aisle. Aside from the fact that Freddie was already married when he met the 16-year-old Demi, that didn't stop them from getting romantically involved. However, that's not the adultery we were talking about. Demi wasn't innocent either in that department. Demi revealed that she snuck out of her bachelorette party to meet up with a guy she'd met on a movie set. Though she never told who the man was, actor Paul Carafotes admitted to the public that he was the mystery man. I couldn't face the fact that I was getting married to distract myself from grieving the death of my father, Demi confessed, referring to the death of her stepfather. I couldn't get out of the marriage, but I could sabotage it. Demi and Freddie were married for only 5 years before they parted ways in 1985. Just 2 years later, the actress had her heart stolen by none other than Bruce Willis. According to reports, Willis and Moore got hitched in Las Vegas in 1987 after just a few months of dating.
And so yes, I think I'm a spontaneous person. And at many times in my life I've been impulsive, so I try to really choose carefully.
At the start of their relationship, the actor was allegedly resentful of her acting career. Demi was becoming incredibly popular in Hollywood. And perhaps Bruce didn't know how to handle his wife getting all of the attention. A source revealed that he didn't appreciate Demi having to spend so much time away from their 3 daughters. Soon, infidelity rumors began to swirl around, and Bruce did nothing but add fuel to the fire. In an interview for Playboy magazine in 1996, the actor said, "No woman is going to satisfy a man's natural impulse to procreate, procreate, procreate. It should surprise you that the couple split 2 years later. They divorced and agreed to co-parent their 3 daughters, Rumour, Scout, and Tallulah Bell Willis. The actress went through a period of anguish when she was not speaking to her ex-husband. Her 3 children stopped talking to her, urging her to get help. Her weight plummeted, and one night she collapsed at a party. Like her mother, Demi battled with addiction throughout her life.
I fully identify as an addict alcoholic.
When she managed to tame her addiction to alcohol and substances, rather than find a healthy habit to replace them with, she became addicted to her 3rd husband, Ashton Kutcher. The couple shares a 16-year age gap, and Demi admitted that it was the fact that he was younger that attracted her at first.
He loved my children. It wasn't something he feared. He seemed to be comfortable with the enormity of the ex-husband. I mean, I felt like I was not coming with baggage. I had trunks.
In some way, Demi felt like if she dated a younger man that she would be able to relive her 20s through him. However, she quickly became obsessed with him and turned her back on everyone else in her life.
Because I really felt like I had created an addiction to him. That I was that my codependency, in a way I'd never had before.
It was her addiction to Ashton that tarnished what little was left with her relationship with her daughters. There were many things that played a part in the derailment of Demi's marriage to Ashton. From the cheating rumors to the actress's relapse, the couple had all odds pinned against them. But there was one last straw on the camel's back, and that was the tragic miscarriage that Demi had 6 months into her pregnancy. Demi was devastated by the loss of her unborn child, and she admitted that she didn't think that Ashton understood the pain that she was going through. At the time, she felt like Kutcher was too young to understand her grief, no matter how hard he tried to connect with her. After the miscarriage, the couple tried again to conceive another baby naturally, but their attempts continued to fail. They eventually turned to in vitro fertilization and intrauterine insemination. Unfortunately, those attempts failed too. Moore then decided to start researching egg donor options. The pair found a match, but Kutcher allegedly backed out at the last minute. Ashton told me, "I don't think I can do this, and I don't know if this is working," she revealed, claiming Kutcher only gave her the go-ahead because he didn't think she'd actually go through with it. Demi was heartbroken, wanting nothing more than to have a baby with the man that she loved, but it seemed like they no longer wanted the same thing anymore.
I really lost sight of everything that was right in front of me, which is the family I had.
The couple separated in 2011 and finalized their divorce 2 years later. But Demi had an even more difficult task ahead of her. Now that there was no longer another man in her life, she turned all her attention to mending the broken relationship with her 3 daughters.
I wish I would have allowed them to see me weak more often.
Demi Moore's relationship with Ashton and all the toxic events that occurred during that time caused what seemed like an irreparable rift with her daughters. Scout and Tallulah hadn't spoken to their mother for 3 years. Rumour and her youngest sister explained exactly how their relationship with their mother started to unravel. Tallulah was 9 years old when Moore, who spent years lying about her sobriety, relapsed. Eventually, Rumour and Scout moved out, leaving their youngest sister to navigate their mother's illness alone. During this time, Tallulah felt forgotten by her mother, who was completely absorbed in her relationship with Kutcher.
And I felt like I developed and I nurtured a narrative that she didn't love me.
The 4 women were eventually able to reconcile, and in a 2020 Mother's Day Instagram post, Tallulah revealed it only happened through a metamorphosis of inward self-reflection and a malleability to forgive. Since then, she's made a massive effort to break through the ceiling of her personal rock bottom. Moore entered rehab for trauma, codependency, and substance abuse, received treatment for her health issues, and slowly mended the relationship she had with her daughters. It seems like things are finally looking up for Demi, and she's got some acting gigs lined up for her fans too. We hope that she's able to find the happiness that she deserves after everything she'd had to go through.